So welcome back guys to another video, and today I'm going to be doing a pickups video. And it's been a little while, and it's been a couple months have passed, and I've gotten some really good deals. And speaking of deals, I always tell collectors, whether you be a veteran collector or maybe you're new to the scene, never be ashamed of your hobby. Let so many people know, whether they're online or local, that you collect video games. The reason why I say this is because for the past couple years, I've gotten some great deals from unexpected messages, whether it be a text or call or Facebook message of friends of mine that, you know, maybe they need some extra money, they have some games and they want to have some extra income, and they always message me first because they know I'm going to buy something in their collection. So I always tell people, be very vocal about it. Now, my first game I wanted to show you guys is actually an accessory, and I've been wanting this for quite some time, and a buddy of mine found out he's going to be a father. Congratulations. And he decided to thin out his game collection, kind of make room for the new baby and everything, and he gave me this right here. Actually, I bought this from him. This is a GunCon 2. Now, this is the Time Crisis edition. It doesn't have the game, unfortunately, but I did get the gun. I got the gun, and that's awesome because I love light gun games. To me, it's a very nostalgic arcade experience, and there's so many great games on the PS2 that involves a light gun. And if I'm not mistaken, I can still play some of the light gun PS1 games and use the GunCon 2 because the PS2 is backwards compatible. Now, I will say, if you guys are interested in getting a GunCon, keep in mind you do have to have a CRT television, and preferably the bubble screen CRT television, not the flat screen, because they use the infrared and everything. So if you have an HD television, you're playing your PS2 through like component cables, unfortunately you can't use the light gun. So I got that covered, and that's just freaking awesome. Now, the next game that I got is actually a reproduction, and my last pickups video was all reproduction carts, and I still stand by the fact that I love reproduction carts. I think it's a great alternative to play games on the original hardware, where some games now, with the retro scene becoming so big, otherwise you wouldn't be able to afford, and you'd have to play it through emulation, which I have no problem with either. But this is a great alternative. Now, the only thing I don't like about reproductions, the only thing I would say I'm not for, is if someone was selling a reproduction as a legitimate copy and they were trying to sell a game like really expensive or something like that. But I got this really cheap online. I got Demon's Crest. Now, Demon's Crest really went up in value, but it's a fantastic platformer on the Super Nintendo. It kind of has an ActRaiser kind of feel to it because there is some simulations and stuff like that you can do in it. And it was originally a sequel to Gargoyle's Quest on the Game Boy. And I don't really know why this game at the time, it didn't really sell too well. Maybe it was the cover. The cover may have made parents kind of unwary. Maybe it was like too satanic or something. I don't know, but it's definitely a fun game if you're a big fan of ghouls and ghosts, and you're a big fan of games like Castlevania, Metroid. This game is kind of like a Metroidvania in some aspects. Definitely pick this up. Rather it be reproduction, if you had the money, get a legit copy, or just emulate it. Whichever way, you really need to try this game out. Now, I went out of town last month with my girlfriend, and we went to Burlington. She wanted to do some shopping, and while she was out shopping, I was actually on my phone because I had never been there before. And I was going on Google Maps, and I was looking for video game stores, and they had a comic book store that sold video games. And I'll be honest, when it comes to retro, when it comes to the Super Nintendo and NES, I'm kind of done with it. I'm not saying I would pass up a good deal on an NES or Super NES game, but I've been collecting more actively for like the Master System and of course the Neo Geo Pocket Color. So when I got to this place, I was kind of psyching myself up, and maybe you guys do this too. I was like, yeah, if they have some Neo Geo Pocket Color games, I'm gonna get all of them. And they did. They had so many Neo Geo Pocket Color games. This one right here is Neo Turf Masters. It's a golf game, and I know some people may be like, why are you playing a golf game? I don't know what it is about the Neo Geo, but the Neo Geo does such a great job with sports titles. The Super Baseball Stars was another one I really enjoyed. And this game has an archaic feel to it. It's not too serious, it's not too much of a simulation. It's got like anime cutscenes and stuff like that. I really enjoyed this, and I mean, I saw it and I had to pick it up. I do have to say, if you guys are wondering about the case, I made them out of a DS case. I used the coverproject.net. I know I've talked about this website numerous times in pickups videos and my audio podcast. I'll have a link on the description below so you guys can check that out. But Neo Turf Masters, awesome. Also another classic SNK game put out by Taito is Mini Puzzle Bobble. It's a really simplistic puzzle game, but I really enjoyed it. I always loved the Bubble Bobble games, and to have it on a handheld, it's just so much fun. It's got so much charm to it. That's the thing. I've always thought the soundtrack and the characters in Bubble Bobble was so charming, and I saw this, I had to get it. And also, this may be one that some people are like, well, why did you get this? But I got Pac-Man on the Neo Geo Pocket Color. Now, I'm not going for a complete Neo Geo Pocket Color collection or anything, but I don't see these kind of games often in the wild, so when I do see them, I want to buy them. And I know Pac-Man, you can get it on mobile, you can get it on any console, it's on everything, but something about using the clicky stick pad on the Neo Geo Pocket feels more like the arcade experience as opposed to using a D-pad. So I really enjoyed it. I only paid like $5 for it, so I mean, like, I had to get it. You can't go wrong with Pac-Man anyway. Now, the one game that I spent a little bit more, I spent like $15 on, it's another Neo Geo Pocket Color, and that's Sonic Pocket Adventure. This is a really fun Sonic the Hedgehog game. It plays a lot like a Sonic game on the Sega Master System or the Game Gear. If you guys have played that, you kind of know what I'm saying. It's not as fast-paced as like Sonic on the Genesis, but it's still a pretty fun platform. It has a really fun soundtrack. A lot of tracks are remixes from previous Sonic games, and this is a must-have for the Neo Geo Pocket Color. I would say if I made like a top 10 must-haves on the handheld, this is definitely probably going to be like number 4 or 5. Now, next up with the modern games. I don't really have a whole lot of modern games to show off, and honestly, there's been so many games coming out since October that there's so many games I need to get for the PS4. The PS4 has been a madhouse since October. There's been so many great games, but one of them I did pick up is World of Final Fantasy. Me and my girlfriend started playing this, and we're about 3 hours in, and I've been really enjoying it. I would honestly say this isn't a game for everyone. Even if you are a Final Fantasy fan, you may like or not like this game. One thing I will say about World of Final Fantasy, it has a lot of fan service from previous entries. There's a lot of soundtracks, a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of things that you would really enjoy. It's got turn-based combat. It also has a Pokemon kind of element to it because you're capturing various monsters. My only gripe about this game so far, and I'm trying to give it a chance because I've only played like 3 hours of it, the story is kind of lackluster. The story hasn't really grabbed me yet, but I'm hoping with time the story will blossom and I'll really enjoy it. But despite the story, if you can get this for a good price, I wouldn't pay $60 for it, but if you can find it for like 30 or 20 bucks, definitely check it out, especially if you're a big JRPG fan, even more so if you're a huge Final Fantasy fan. Definitely check it out. And the last game I want to show you guys is a PS4 game I got on Saturday after Black Friday. I didn't want to tackle Black Friday, but Target still had some games on sale, and I got this for 15 bucks, and that is Ratchet & Clank. Now, this is based off the movie, which is kind of funny. It's a game that's based off a movie that's based off of a game, but it's Ratchet & Clank through on through. I tell you guys, me and my girlfriend were having so much fun with this platform. We played it all night the other night, and we're almost done with it. She's a much more completionist than I am. She's wanting to get every single golden bolt and all the secrets, and I try to run past some of the boxes. She makes me go back and get them for money because you can upgrade your weapons. If you guys are really familiar with Ratchet & Clank, you'll feel right at home with this, but it has enough nuances to it that it feels new. It doesn't feel like you're playing a remake of Ratchet & Clank. It's a lot of fun, and I still haven't seen the movie. I definitely want to check it out. This game made me want to watch the movie even more. And with this and the remake of Crash Bandicoot, I should say, I'm hoping that this starts a new renaissance of platformers for the PlayStation, because the PlayStation 1 had so many great platformers, and PlayStation 2, and I would love to see that come out to the PS4. I'd love to see a new Spyro the Dragon, or Medieval, or Jak and Daxter, Sly Cooper. I would love to see those games come out in full HD on the PS4, rather it be a new entry or just a remaster. I would love it. I would absolutely love it. And the last thing I'm going to show you guys is not a game, but it is gaming related. And I have to say, I love, artistic pieces that have to do with video games. When I go to conventions, that's the first thing I go to, because, the booths that have like the movies and the games, stuff I can always get on Amazon, but the artistic stuff, like rather be plushes or t-shirts or polymer beads, art pieces like paintings, I'm such a sucker for that stuff. And I met somebody a couple years ago, I want to say about 2 years ago. His name's Faberico Fabro, and I hope I didn't butcher your name, buddy, but he's a good friend of mine in Brazil. And I came home before going to work and saw a big package on my bed, and it was from Brazil, and I was like, well, what is this? And I opened it up, and he made this for me. This is a Dragon Quest IX art piece box, and it's got so much detail to it. Honestly, guys, what I'm showing you right now, it doesn't do justice of what he put into this. He actually wood burns and draws the image onto the box, and it like covers every single corner of the box. It's so awesome. And I don't really know exactly what I'm going to put inside the box. I'm thinking probably some guitar picks, because I'm notorious for losing my guitars, but he does really great stuff. I'll have a link on the description below to his Facebook, Heatman. He does all sorts of stuff in this style. He does Xenogears, he's done Lunar, Final Fantasy, so much great stuff, and the amount of time that he puts in these boxes is just uncanny. It's awesome. And this was an early birthday present he sent me, because my birthday's in a couple of days from filming. And again, man, thank you so much for this. This is so freaking awesome, and it's going to be a centerpiece to my collection. Definitely. So anyway, guys, that is my pickups for the last couple of months. I'm going to be doing another pickups video probably in about 2 months or so, because I'm going to be getting a lot more games, especially now with Christmas around the corner. I'll be getting some gift cards, and of course I always hit up the sales after Christmas. There are always sales after Christmas. But what I want you guys to do is leave a comment below. Tell me some games you've picked up lately. Tell me what games you've been playing recently. I love to see your comments, and as always, it gives me kind of like recommendations for stuff to check out myself. But anyway, guys, as always, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and as always, happy gaming.
Can't get enough of Access Gaming Podcast? Be sure to check out our audio podcast on podomag.com. You can also subscribe to us on iTunes. And if you have a YouTube channel or podcast you'd like to share, be sure to check us out on Facebook on our group page and join the community. As always, guys, thank you so much for all the support, and happy gaming.